All right. All right, but yeah, as far as like gaming is concerned, I was gonna kind of like throw a few ideas out there and just kind of update the stream info as we go along. Yeah, today's been a bit of a high stress day, but that's okay. I'm getting through it. Oh yeah, dude, that's how I feel because I've got 48 myself. Like this is what's in my PC. Where is it? That's weird. It's not, well, anyways, can't really show you because it's not wanting to pick up my settings screen. But yeah, I got a Ryzen 9 5900X. It's the 12 core, and I got 48 gigs of RAM and a 3060 graphics card. But one of the things I'm really looking forward to upgrading here pretty soon is to get like 1 or 2 of the M2 internal hard drives. Is what I'm really wanting. But yeah, it was a very smart move to buy and upgrade your RAM before these RAM prices started going crazy. Like, I don't quite understand it, why they're doing that, you know? I really don't. Yeah, the M2 NVMEs, that's right. Dude, when I was originally looking at them, they were like $100, maybe. I looked at one the other day that was a 512 gig, and it was like $496. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I couldn't believe how expensive it was. So, here, I have an idea. Alright, so you guys can look through my Steam with me if you guys want. And we can decide on a game. Here, let me bring this down. Bring these up. Hold on. Transform. There it goes. Okay. There. Okay. We're gonna do it's just like that. Okay. Yeah, I've heard about that, and my brother, God bless him. Hey Topaizo on YouTube. He says, "Are you okay? Are you stressed?" I am a little bit. But that's why I'm glad that I get to stream, because this is a bit of a reprieve. So, just casting all my financial burdens to God, you know, figuring out how to do that. Yeah, but Topazio, thank you for joining. I don't know if you're still in chat or not. Heck, another thing I thought about doing was working on my video game today. Showing you guys the video game, well, the 2 that I'm making. Hey, Laura. How's it going, Laura Williams? Thank you for joining in the YouTube. You're awesome. Thank you. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying. I'm in the process right now of, because normally, you know, I would be playing drums, but my neck has been like burning all day, and I just think that it's the gloomy, dreary weather that's going on outside. Yeah, I'm actually working on 2 different ones at the moment, now that I think about it. Hey, W2000, how's it going? Welcome to TikTok. Great to see you, my friend. But yeah, I'm actually working on 2 games at the same time. I mean, you want to see it? So my 2D game is nothing but, you know, shapes and squares and stuff, but the, what's it called? The premise is there. meaning the vertical slice of the game is there. So you guys want to see it? I don't mind. I don't mind. All right. Here. Maybe this would be interesting. All right. So I don't think this is going to be a window capture. I think that this is going to be display capture most likely. All right. So we are going to capture display. And we need the ultra wide. Okay. Shoot. We need to display capture, bring it down. Get to transform. Stretch to screen. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is the game that I'm making at the moment. This is the 2D version. So I'm doing it in Godot, and what's really funny is I've been hesitant on showing this just because I have never built a video game before, but I have been building a video game, like Game World, since like the 6th grade, and do I have that folder out here? I might have put that folder into my safe. No, it's over here. Hold on one second. I'll show you. So the funny thing is, all right, I need to make my camera big. GoPro, make it big just for a split second. Okay, so this right here is the game that I've been making, and it's this thing. Let's see, I'm 36. I'll be 37 in May. So I've had this since the 6th grade when I was like maybe 10 or 11. So you're talking 26 years. I've had this binder. It's called Elviture Unforgettable Tales, the game property of Big B, and that's me. And this is like the hard, this is what we would call original hard code data. So this is like all of the game design stuff, how characters function, how turns function. It's also character building sheets, you know, because originally this was supposed to be a D&D game. It was going to be D&D, but my own version, because I couldn't afford to play D&D, so I was like, screw it, I'll just build a D&D game. Oh, good lord. That's funny. Sorry, just old stuff that I didn't even know existed, you know. That's my business license. Sorry, went down a trip of nostalgia lane. Alright, so, if you look at this, get out. If we look at this, you can see I've got grid paper, right? And that's how I used to draw my maps, because, you know, I was locked away in a military boarding school, so I had to essentially build my own worlds. Like, there's no easy way to say it, right? So this is what an original game character sheet used to look like. You know, name, race, all that kind of stuff, height, weight, moving rate, and then like it had a big space for equipment. Like I said, because this used to be D&D, dice and paper, right? And it's even got a back that shows like a basic marketplace thing. Where's the Discord? I believe in my dude Discord. Okay, you can do this. There you go. Yeah, come join. So, but like I said, I built all this to become a D&D, right? A D&D game. So this right here is like your character stats, and we had everybody do everything in pencil. That way, you know, everything could be updated as you were playing, which was really cool. And then this right here is a Concepts of the Creator page. Where is it? You see that Concepts of the Creator? Yeah. And this is stuff that's like armor, weapons, talking about different races. Humans are normal beings, and their range at daylight is 130 feet, and at night the total range is 1/3 of the full range. dwarves have, you know what I mean? It's stuff that I wrote for years, and the tools didn't exist when I was first getting into game development and design. Like, this is level ups right here, all the experience required to level up. Spirits, wood elves. When gaining a level, like, this is what happens when you gain a level. When gaining a level, roll 3 d10s, dice 10s, and the average of your total is the extra skill points aside from the 3 that is given normally. You get, you know what I mean? It's just, oh, sorry about that. Is that better? Sorry about that. And then it even got to the point where we had so many players that we had to start doing hand-drawn character sheets, which was really cool. So, and then it got to the point where I was able to afford like really nice parchment paper. And this is like my favorite character sheet I ever made. I think this is my character actually, Griffin. 5'7", 145-pound elf. Yeah. So, and then when we get to, I mean, just character sheets after character sheets after character sheets of stuff that I had created. Name Baldric, a dwarf. That was a really cool one. Okay, so, I mean, I must have 50 character sheets from people who wanted to play. So, I realized that there was a demand for it, so I started to hand draw all my maps. And I figured out that the easiest way to do that was, you know, the grid paper. Elvenwood Town. Like, here, let me show you guys this. I need to set this down. Oh my gosh. And also, if you're wanting me to change the music, I can do that too. Because it is just like simple Minecraft music right now. Okay, that's awesome. Alright, so this right here is what maps used to look like, right? So this is how I used to do them. This is the Forest of Elvenwood. And what's cool about this is, you know, the green represents the impenetrable forest areas around. And I tell you guys, if you guys are ever into D&D and you need a way to make maps, this is the way to do it. I'm telling you, this is the way to do it. So on the back is actually a legend that tells you what all of these different symbols mean, right? Altar of Sacrifice, all this kind of stuff. So in the Forest of Elvenwood, the original campaign is the Black Paladin. Now, the Black Paladin is a concept of blood magic that exists in, it's like corrupted paladinistic hedonism. And the Black Paladin, how this one works is you would travel through the dungeon killing enemies, and all that blood would traverse to the Altar of Sacrifice. And then when you finally got here, the Blood Paladin had enough magic, basically blood, sacrifice blood, to become alive again. And then you could either kill him or you could figure out a way to purify him and get him on your team. That was kind of like my first Easter egg that I created for people. And what's cool about this is the Forest of Elvenwood in my game became this. Load my game. Became this. So what you're looking at, like I said, this is the 2D representation of the game. And this is what I've built so far. I'm going to be changing the names of the skills. You know, Vitas is life, vigor, strength. Whis is accuracy. And then Visus is attack. And then Valum is defense, woodcutting, cooking. I'm going to be changing these stats, the names of them anyway, because it's like calling an HP Smirnoff. And it's this concept that if you try to overcomplicate things by adding your own touch, you know, you're bound to lose more people than you are to gain people. So I'm gonna go back to just simple, you know, HP, attack, strength, defense, blah blah blah. You get the idea. Accuracy, you know, you get the idea. But this Forest of Elvenwood here, actually, I was mistaken. This is the city. So what you're looking at here is actually Elvenwood City. And this is my version of the game that's built, right? So I added to it, obviously, but this is the city that I created. And you travel around it. It's, oh, shoot. Okay. You travel around the city, you know, it's got the library, go and learn magical spells. The Elms Guild right here is the crafting guild. and you take on elms, ELMS, or like, you know, jobs for hire, basically. The ghost table is where you can go to fight, and then the ghost temple is like the graveyard, basically. And then let's see. So you got the inn and the tavern. Obviously, you know what those are for. General store, you know what that's for. You got water bodies. But like I said, it looks like it's in the very basic starts to something that sort of looks like ROTMG. Why do I know ROTMG? Why do I know that? Can you tell me what that stands for? ROTMG. I feel like I know what that is. I feel like I know what that is. Temple of Light's a really good one too if you ever... So I'm going to be implementing class structure into this. So, you know, you start basically as like a beginner, and you can go a mage, warrior. It's on Steam. ROTMG. Oh, Realm of the Mad God. You know what's funny? Most likely, I haven't played this game. I own it. I own it, Realm of the Mad God, but I haven't gotten to play it yet. Is it an RPG? Massive multiplayer online shoot 'em up video game. That's cool. Yeah, I never got to play that. Nice. We'll have to check. I'll have to check that out one day. That would be awesome. But, you know, I never considered that this game was kind of related to any other game that's out there, per se, because I try to make it as characteristically independent as possible. That's awesome. But yes, this essentially is my 2D top-down game, and how I'm building it is, you know, I loved and love RuneScape's skill system, which is kind of the basis of what I'm wanting to do, because I'm a grinder gamer. Like, I love games that prolong the gaming experience by allowing you to grind, because it offers variety to your video game. So either you could sit there and you could just punish through all these main chapter stuff, blah, 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 or you can have more fun with it and extend your player's gameplay by, you know, offering special materials to at a certain drop rate, you know what I mean, all this kind of stuff. You can prolong the gaming experience to be a better, more enjoyable suite, because like I said, sometimes I want to play the same game, but I don't feel like being so that's like League of Legends, you know what I mean? I love League, I'm addicted to it, like no questions asked, but there's sometimes when I just don't have the mental energy to play a normal Summoner's Rift round, and I just kind of want to, you know, point and click, and I get that. Okay, Demon, I'll check him out in just a minute. But so far in this game, I've got a working inventory with equipment, right? That you can equip different things. I have a working currency system. I have a working stats system that's really cool. Tooltips that shows you the experience needed for each skill. And so in combat, you can choose a strong, an accurate, or a defensive stance. Whichever stance you're in, it will train the certain stats, and you will always get hit points. Okay, Demon, it sounds like you want me to show them on stream. I'll get to it, buddy. I'll get to it. But I have a working vertical slice, you know what I mean? So, let me see, where is it? Do I have, okay. Which chat did you send them to, by the way? DMs. Oh, okay. Oh, those look great, dude. Whoa. Those look fantastic. You did this? Amazing. That's a cool looking Gladius. Oh, that's cool. Damn, dude. Damn, dude. That's impressive. I really like the Warhammer. You know, I really want to get a 3D printer. Oh, man. That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. That's amazing. What are you planning on making next? Are you planning on keeping up with things, or are you going to get into people? I can show you some of the asset packs that I have. But yeah, so I've got, like, you know, working screens. I've got working save modes that allows you to save. And the cool part about it is, hey, Mama Bear, it's okay. You should, since you're good at things, you should definitely give a try to, you know, armor and body shapes and all this kind of stuff. I would focus on things that allow you to train multiple spatial awareness at the same time. So like weapons, obviously, they're kind of like one size fits all, right? They're not player dependent, they're not model dependent, they're not modular dependent, they're not any of that stuff. It's just, you know, whatever size your player is, you can proportionally scale your weapons and stuff up and down. However, if you do, like, shields are a really good one. You could try shields next, dude. That would be sick. Shields, cloaks, cowls, all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Have you done flowy fabric? That's a really good test of strength. I would try like flowy fabrics, stuff that, like I said, trains multiple disciplines at the same time. The axe was supposed to look like the Leviathan axe from God of War. Nice! I actually have that. Looks really good, dude. You did a fantastic job. So in this game so far, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different maps. So this is the city, the opening city. And once you go to the city limits, there is a scene transition, stables, obviously, horse, all this kind of stuff. There's a trade post that allows you to quickly sell or deposit items to your bank, all this kind of stuff. The Waypoint Inn allows you, I'm going to have a mercenary system that allows you to hire a second or even a third mercenary given a certain skill. You know, we might have like a leadership skill, I haven't decided yet. There's a guard barracks, obviously. So I'm also in this screen, because there's a guard barracks and stuff, I want to have random timed events to happen, which will say, hey, there is a rogue orc pack that is attacking the guard barracks. Hurry up and get back, and you might have a chance of getting something very special. You know what I mean? That would be super cool, in my opinion. To add more variety to the game is what I'm wanting to do, you know? And then what's cool is, yeah, exactly, just like random world events. That's exactly right. One of them could be, hey, there's a severe heat drought going on, your crops are deteriorating faster than normal, and you need to go and spend like 10 game minutes or something, like watering things. Wow. Is Star okay? That's a drastic change. It kind of makes me think of that Shel Silverstein poem. It's just like, I thought I've always had wavy hair until I shaved my head and realized I had a wavy head. Gotta love it. So, once you kind of, I just realized that I have the wrong maps. Okay, so this is actually, all right, so if we go west, we're supposed to go to the farmlands first. Is that all the way west? Oh, shoot, hold on, let me look. Where's my Godot? Here it is. Where is, I need, Elvenwood City. Okay, so the farmlands, you gotta exit east. Okay. Hey, I used to buzz my hair every couple of years. Let it grow out straight, you know? Grow out all at the same time. Alright, so the Jobs Guild is obviously, you know what that is. So, in this game, the first area you go to is your farmlands. Now, the farmlands is really cool because in this one, I have enemies that spawn. You've got cows and chickens. The chickens are passive, but the cows are aggressive. So this is basically the tutorial screen. This teaches you about fighting. This teaches you about looting. This teaches you about chopping trees, because you can see these group of trees over here. Once you get near it, it says press F to chop tree, right? Now, if you don't have an axe, you can't chop the tree. And we don't have an axe right now, so we can't chop the tree. So in order to do, that's why I have the wooden sword here. This is basically Tutorial Island. So I already have the wooden sword, but what you would normally do is you would pick it up and you would go into your inventory screen and you would equip it. And then if you go to your character screen here, it shows you've got your wooden sword and what kind of damage it does, right? I need to rebalance a lot of this because some of the enemies that I have now created in like the forest scenes are a little bit too powerful for our base character stats. But then again, they're level 5 and level 15. So that's probably a good reason why. So I also have an elite monster system, Demon, which is really cool. So there is a chance. You see the elite chicken, so they have more hit points, all this kind of stuff. And I had so much fun coming up with these concepts. I keep a notepad document of all of the different concepts that I'm wanting to do that I just haven't had the time to be able to do yet, right? So the game goes as follows. You fight, you fight, you fight, you fight. With this being a sort of semi-roguelite, instead of fighting one enemy at the same time, all weapons have curvature, right? So you are attacking in an area in front of you, okay? And that's a bug that I haven't fixed yet. So you are attacking enemies in an area in front of you, and because we have a strong attack going on right now, we are leveling up our strength and our hit points, right? So if we go here and we look at Vitas, we have 82 out of 2575 to go to level 11. So when we kill something, like we just did, 84. So you see that we're getting experience. So this right here becomes a grind a little bit because it allows you to prolong the gaming experience for the player in a healthy way that allows them to be like, well, I just kind of feel like killing some chickens. Well, I just kind of feel like, you know, killing some chickens and doing some cooking, right? So you come over here and you can see also in the upper left-hand side of the screen where it says XP. Oh, you guys can't see it because you got the chat. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Which, okay. So you can see in the upper left-hand side of the screen that there's, you know, XP. Spirit is our currency system. So to get more currency, it's bones, right? So in this game, there is a prayer level later. I haven't implemented it yet, but you would right-click to bury the bones, and then you see we have gained spirit, which is our currency system. What happens then? All right, so now that we have the required currency, all right, you wouldn't know this as a player because unless you explored. I need to put labels on these as well, but I'm going to do that because one of the next things I want to start doing is now that I have, you know, 4 different maps, I'm thinking it's time for me to start putting in some graphical assets because the only thing I don't have right now is a boss, right? I haven't put in the boss. We have sort of mini field bosses with the elites, but we don't have like a boss that locks progression to a certain area until you can kill him. So you would come here, which is the shopkeep. This is all just, you know, test data. Exactly like a prayer system, like RuneScape. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. And then once you have spirit, you know, you could buy rusty axe or rusty dagger, stone axe. The stone axe is how you chop trees, and you can see it goes all the way up to dragon. So we have different levels of quality already: leather, iron, steel, mithril, and there's no armor above mithril yet because I haven't figured out the leveling scope of the game yet, right? But it also, there is a level requirement for all of this stuff. So you can sit here and you can kill chicken and cows until you're literally level 15, which is kind of the goal, at least to level like 7 to 10, right? As the developer, I feel that, you know, if you're level 7 to 10 or whatever, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. But iron shield, wooden ring, or I'm sorry, iron shield, wood shield, all this kind of stuff. You know, these are all just like test datas. But the goal is in this screen, excuse me, is once you get to 3 spirit, you come here, you buy your stone axe. You then come back outside and you put the stone axe. Oh, I forgot about that. That's all right. I'll fix that later. I don't feel like fixing any bugs right now. All right, so let's go back, because I'm trying to get through this so I can show you guys the 3D version of the game. Because I have a 3D version of the game as well, not just the 2D version. So I already have 5 spirit. So you come here and you leave, and basically all you got to do is you can either have the stone axe equipped, or I have an automatic tool switching system that automatically switches to the tool that you need, right, in order to achieve the desired task. So you come to your tree and you chop it down, and that's really cool too, and you can tell when it's chopped down and see. So there's, you know, even though it's 2D, there's still visual cues. I'm having trouble focusing. I'm gonna have to go. Sorry, Nick. I'll chat with you later. Okay, Mama Bear. Have a good night. Maybe in between iron and mithril should maybe be like silver or a different type of metal. Okay, so I thought about doing that. I legitimately thought about doing that. The only problem with doing silver or gold type of metal is they're very soft in the real world. So silver and mithril would not hold up in combat. It would need to be an alloy metal. And I planned on doing wood, leather, iron, steel, mithril, dragon, or some other names, because obviously I don't want copyright infringement here. I'll probably come up with a different name for all this stuff. I just needed to get it on paper. But once you get to above the final level, you'll have alloy metals. So it'll be like dragon mixed with mithril, and it'll be like mithril steel or red steel or something like that. You know what I mean? Yes, this is Godot. Yes. You can see my millions of lines of code behind me. But I'm not going to give away any of my code because it's entirely proprietary. Sorry. But this is the 2D game that I'm making, Jess. This is the 2D version of the game that I'm making. Hey, Lou. Great to see you, buddy. Well, truth be told, I have knowledge gaps in my coding. Like, I'm an artist. Even though I have a programming degree, like the graphics and the art part always came, and the animation always came easier for me than the actual coding. But it wasn't until I became an electrician that I finally went, okay, I get it, you know what I mean? And I started actually doing the coding part, but there are a bunch of gaps in my knowledge. So I use a coding assistant, and I'm not ashamed to say that, 100% of the artwork and the assets that I have are handmade. But some of the code that I need to make more efficient, stuff like that, I don't give a damn. See, I've been jumping back and forth between making something in RPG Maker because I do not have the tolerance to code something from the ground up. Well, Jess, I'll show you something after this that I think is going to change your life. I'll show you something after this that I think is going to change your life for the better, honestly. That helps with that because, like I said, I have knowledge gaps too. That's awesome. The only thing I don't like about those is, as a coder, you are working within the limitations of your engine. And if you're trying to do something that goes beyond the limits of the engine, unless it's something like Godot, it has to be open source, you're bound within the limits of the engine. And I have... Oh, absolutely. Dude, there's never been a better time to become a game developer. If you have a good idea, honestly, at this point, it's so easy to code that the only restriction is the art. And I firmly believe that people have done insane things in RPG Maker. Yeah. If you're planning on doing something, like I said, you just have to make sure whichever engine you choose has the capability to do the things you're wanting to do. Like Godot is an outstanding streamlined engine as far as like memory usage and data allocation and just, being able to do stuff like that. But from what I've seen, it's not, what am I trying to say? Up until now, it's not the most visually pleasing engine that you can have. It really solely depends on your assets, right? So to finish up this, because I want to show you guys the 3D game, The Last Orchard. So you level up in that screen, you do all that good stuff, and then you come down back into the city, and then you go to the city limits, and you go to this screen, and then you come from the city limits to Elvenwood Forest. Remember me showing you this? This is, you know, Elvenwood Forest, right? And so you come here, and now you're in the Elvenwood Forest. So this is actually supposed to be like level 7 to 15 to like 20, 25, something like that. And I'm going to put timed events over here in the Ancient Grove. Okay, Demon. But I'm going to put like timed events over here in the Ancient Grove. That's stuff like, you know, an ancient tree has spawned. Go and cut it down for a special reward or whatever. Hey, Cole. Thank you for joining the YouTube, buddy. Honestly, I just need to work on making the artwork or find someone to do it. Truth be told, Humble Bundle is your best friend. I'm telling you. I have gotten 99% of all of my, well, that's not true. Like 75% of all of my asset packs have come from Humble Bundle. The other ones came from itch.io, and I freaking love them. I freaking love them. But yeah, I mean, as it sits right now, I've got 6 enemies in the game. I've got Goblin, Hobgoblin, I've got Chicken, Cow, Elite Chicken, and Elite Cows. And I've got progression. So, like, you're supposed to be, like I said, up to level 25 in this area. You know, that's awesome. There's an Elite Hobgoblin to show you. So, you fight your way through this one for a while. Here's the issue. I have art. I just need to convert it. It's not, I'm telling you, it's not overly difficult. It's just finding the right tool, Jess. If you have art, like a set of art, there is tools now that are really, really good about consistency, about keeping a consistent look across all of your assets, you know? So once you fight your way through this, you go deeper into the forest. This is the boss zone here. Right here in the middle is the actual, like, boss spawn area. That when the boss, you know, appears, and it'll be this whole dramatic thing. I haven't coded him in yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with him yet. But the goal is you need to kill enough of these things in order for him to spawn. And you could do it repeatedly to farm, you know, all of the different stuff. So once you do that, it teleports you back to the city. And this is where I'm currently at in this game. Like, there's no quests yet. You know, I haven't quite gotten up to that yet. Yeah, well, this is just this is just my 2D game, you know what I mean? And this is all supposed to be squares and blocks and collision detection and all this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? This is just placeholder stuff, you know? That's actually what I had planned on doing next, is now that I have the full vertical slice, I'm gonna finish the vertical slice of putting in a boss. And once I have that, and then locking the progression in this area until you do all that kind of stuff, that's when I'm going to start putting in assets. Because once I put the assets in, after that comes the cinematography, and then after that is marketing this as a minimal viable product, right? So, and then there's progression saving and all this kind of stuff. That's really cool too. But there's another game I want to show you guys. And let me just pull it up real quick. Save that, close that, save this, close that. And this other game is top secret. Top secret. This one is The Lost Orchard. Now, I've put a good 2 months into this. Why? Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so for this one, hey, welcome back, Demon. I have plans on converting my books into a game, so I have the story. Dude, the story is the hardest part. Honest to God, the story is the hardest part. So this game, this is The Lost Orchard, all right? All right. So there's actually, I've done quite a bit more work to this game. I think I've been working on this about a grand total of 2 months so far. And start a new game, and it's got, you know, hold on, let me delete this one. All right, so if you do a new game, it'll take you to a character creation screen. Very basic, but it's there, right? So I have both male and female poses and all this kind of stuff. And it's got 3 different body types for both, which is really cool too. Regular, standard, and teen, you know. So we'll just make the typical male, that's fine. And I've got color choosers, all this kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot that I need to put in, but there's a lot that's already here. You know, give them a beard, mustache, mutton chop, stuff like that. I've always been a huge fan of the mutton chops. You create your character. I don't have clothes and stuff yet. Obviously, you can tell. And then his name, we'll just do Nick and confirm. And then it takes us into the game. Uh-oh, what's going on? Oh, there it goes. Okay, it just took a second. Sorry about that. Jessica, be nice. So, normally in Godot, when you've been running a game for a while, it builds a cache. And I just remembered that I had cleared my cache. So that's why it took a second. It was rebuilding that game cache. So you could tell that I've done quite a bit to the game, right? I've done quite a bit to the game, and there's, you know, veritable cameras, all this kind of stuff. So what's cool about this is it's kind of hard to see it. Hold on one second. Kind of hard to see it. Okay, so up at the top, I have a progress bar. That's HP and mana. I need to resize those or whatever. But underneath, you could see that there is time of day, day tracker. Oh, thank you, Jess, for deleting that. That was nice. There's a time of day tracker. There's a wind speed variable checker. There's weather. There's a moon cycle checker. So this game is called The Last Orchard. In a world that has been ravaged by the apocalypse, right? One sole block of land still exists. Oh, thank you did it update that? Sweet, thank you. I didn't even know that there was a thing for that. That's awesome. In a world that has been ravaged by the apocalypse, there is one sole tract of land that still exists, and it's the Last Orchard, right? And it's basically, think Stardew Valley, but more of an overarching apocalyptic theme to it, you know what I mean? I know, I need to update it. Like I said, it's placeholder stuff, you know. I just started putting assets in for this game. So another really cool thing is that I have like a full-on development menu. I actually have 2 different development menus. Which one is it? Is it F11? Oh, I just hit auto load. Hold on. Come on. It's been a while since I've messed with this. I don't exactly remember all of my buttons. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So another cool thing is I've started to do fireflies. So these are placeholders as well. So what happens is when it hits a certain time of day, these guys will pop up. It's supposed to be at night, but that's all right. So there's day and night cycles. That's tracked. There's a sun and a moon. But it's a cloudy day. There's farming, all this kind of stuff. So since this is a new game, that's why I have certain stuff coded in. What is my damn development menu button? Anyways, I'm supposed to have a second development menu here. We're gonna load one of my other games here. That way I already have the stuff. You got the stuff. Okay, so I don't have pictures in yet, but there is stuff, you know what I mean? There's placeholders: compost, wood logs, carrots, potato, carrot seeds, you know, all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of there's a lot of intertwining that I need to do. Like when you open a menu, you need to be able to press escape to get out of that menu versus pressing escape to go into the escape menu. So there's a lot of intertwining that I need to finish out. And I do have an NPC. I actually have 2 NPCs. So this guy right here is what gives you your first quest. So there's actually a quest system in this already. And you can hit J for your journal. This is available. This is quests that are in progress. And this is your completed quests. So there is progression in this game already. You know what I mean? And right now, the only quests that I have is basically to farm logs. Because it's the easiest, right? And there's also the planting system works. So if you come over here and wheat seeds, okay. So you hit 2 and then you come here. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but watch this brick right here. It's showing that I'm highlighting it, right? I need to put an indicator on that, but you left click and you plant the seeds, and I've got the packs for these. I just haven't put them in yet because I'm being lazy. And then you got your watering can. You got your watering can, and you water each thing, right? And you can see that there is toast up here. So, oh wait, is that can empty? Come on, what's going on? Oh, okay. I forgot that I have it set to water the entire row at the same time. And then it's got 3 growth cycles, which is really cool. And another thing is this right here. All right, so the Lost Orchard works with purification. So when you do your quests, you have to farm a certain amount of materials from the specific area you're in before you can go to the altar and hit the purification thing, and then the monster will pop up. As it sits right now, it's just placeholders, right? Hold on, I'm missing items. What am I missing? Oh, a compost. Okay, well, hell, that's easy. So let me show you guys what this is all about. So I have fast spawning stuff. So there's naturally spawning things in the world. Trees and weeds on your crops will spawn naturally. So a cool thing is you can see this harvest down here. When you are within a harvestable object, it will show you what you can do, and you can harvest it. And you can see the toast icons up here that show you that you're gaining experience inside of your characters. Come on. I might not have my character screen built yet, but you get logs and you get things. Oh yeah, there's also a working weather system as well. I forgot about that. There's snow, there's fog, there's rain, heavy rain, and all this kind of stuff. And the cool part about it is even with this fog, you know, I've got 3 different maps, or 2 different maps right now. The game's only using 322 megabytes of memory, which is not much. And that's with like all the settings on max, right? I don't have graphics, but I do have VSync, so that's pretty cool too. And but I needed all these dev tools. So if we wanted to change the weather in mine, man, uh-oh, I don't have a numpad. That's okay, I'll just have to let the weather cycle normally. That's alright. So we come here and talk to him. Brought the 25 logs. Okay, so now we have the required items that we need, right? So you see that the altar is now illuminated, and it should allow us to bring up the monster. Uh-oh. Wait, why did it take a compost? Oh, because I planted stuff, you dumbass. Okay. Hold on. Looking through, because I have another dev menu. I took like a 2-month creative break from all this. I don't remember. Oh, okay, there it goes. Okay. Test items. That's what I was looking for. It's one of those buttons. I think it's a F11. But I did that to be able to quickly test things in the game. You know what I mean? Still missing items. Why am I missing items? Oh, I know what's going on. Okay, so I forgot that I don't have it coded in that my test items count as worldly gained items. I forgot, and I did that for a reason. Are you wanting this to be like a multiplayer game or a single player story game? Honestly, I would love for like local co-op. Like up to 4 people, 8 people, whatever. Like I want to do local co-op, like up to 4 people. That would be awesome. All right, was there anything else I needed? I needed the 2 compost. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. Okay, but I'm really wanting to show you guys this. All right, so now that we know we have the right stuff. What the fuck? Why is it telling me that I don't have compost? I do. That's a bug. That's so weird. It was not doing this to me before. Because you can go and buy it. Come on. This is so infuriating. I do not... Off the top of my head, I do not understand why this is being stupid. Anyways, what it's supposed to do... Hold on. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to take those items, it's supposed to pop up this little capsule thing that exists. And it's supposed to, like, pop up this monster, and I've got, like, timed directional input stuff. There it is. Okay, so it worked that time. Maybe I just had to reload the game. Okay, so you could see there is a monster that will spawn, and I don't have, like, the attack system, because I just really wanted to get this underway. So there's left clicking. All right, and then it brings up this timed reaction system. All right, which is really cool. I kind of got that idea from God of War. I was like, man, there needs to be a 3-step process in which people can purify this ritual and they can progress the game and make it feel more interactive. So let's do it. Here we go. So the first time is 4 hits, and then the second time is 5 hits maybe, and then 6 hits. Yep, 5 hits, and then failed. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and then the third time is the most difficult. It's like 8 things. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. And then what happens here is a cool cinematic occurs that shows, oh, you have now unlocked the ability to go to the next area, right? So I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but it unlocked, excuse me, this door here that you can go to the next area. Also, I forgot. I have a sleep system in play, so if it gets to 3 a.m., your character passes out, and you take an experience and like food and hunger and thirst debuff through the next day. This is a bed, so this allows you to sleep, right, to regain all that stuff. I forgot about that. So once you defeat the thing, you can go into the next map. Now my next map is literally just a placeholder. It's just a really open area that I haven't finished yet. I haven't put much work into. All I did was just decorate it and to give my character a place to run around in. That's all I did for this area. And then that was when I was just like, okay, I've got scene transitions, I've got all this good stuff, I need to take a creative break, and that's what I did. And that was like the beginning of November when I took that creative break. So So I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this area, to be honest, because this is supposed to be like a tutorial area. Now I could keep this as like a player hub, because I really would love to build a player building system. I would love that. I would love to build to create a way for your player to build. But you're gonna go from the forest to the mountains, and then from the mountains to like the plains, and then from the plains to the desert, and then there'd be like cities and stuff in between, you know. That because this whole game's premise is as you purify these altars, you are unlocking more and more of the world. That's why the outside of the world looks like this, because it's all frozen in time. And that's exactly right, Demon. Like a player's home. That's correct. And that's what this is for the time being. That's what this is for the time being. So there's going to be like alchemy, and you know, there's a lot that's but you know, as a solo developer, I feel like I've done quite a bit. You know what I mean? I feel like I've done quite a bit. And I worked on this specific version for at least a month and a half, from the beginning of October to like maybe November the 10th or something like that is when I took a break. That they can customize to whatever. That's exactly correct. That is exactly correct. And I plan on having like skill systems in this too, like fishing, hunting and gathering, all this kind of stuff. You know, I have all these ideas, but I'm limited to being a solo developer to get these ideas out, unfortunately. But that's okay, because that's what makes it more fun. Now, I will say that this game has a vertical slice. The game's vertical slice is 100% complete, meaning you create a character. You harvest materials. You have a quest line that you can do. You have a sell box, like in Stardew Valley. At the end of each day, or at the beginning of each new day, you put stuff in the box, and then it sells, and then that's how you accrue currency. Or you can have a shop that you can actually go to buy things, like the most basic things that you're going to need. There is a planting and harvesting system, and there is, like I said, there is a full-on... I think the thing that's most fleshed out right now is the weather system. Like, I love the weather system. You can track the sun across the day. That's terrifying. I need to fix that to where when it zooms in, it goes underneath the player's feet. But that's okay. But you can watch that there, like, there's the sun and the moon and everything. And but that's what I was talking about earlier. Is, you know, I'm very good at the coding part, the back end part. But the visuals and, you know, all of that kind of stuff is stuff that I'm still working on. But like I said, I think the thing that's most fleshed out right now is the working weather system. You know, like I said, snow, rain, and it affects the ground in different ways. I've got a full seasonal system, so you've got winter, summer, fall, and spring. Each of those give buffs and all this kind of stuff too. So like in the spring, you have like a plus 15% harvest rate or something. And then in the fall, you have like a plus 15% grow time, but you know, less harvest and stuff like that. Balancing is, you know, something I'm pretty good at. As of right now, there's no enemies in the game except the altar boss. But I've got asset packs for everything. I just have to build them. And the one thing I'm afraid of is the stylizing of the game. I'm so afraid people are going to be like, oh, this looks like garbage. When it's just like, guys, I'm a solo developer. I'm doing the best I can, and I have no money. That's why it looks the way that it does, because I don't have a bona fide art team to help me do this crap. So please don't make fun of my assets and art. I literally have just what I have, and that's it. But I love it, you know? And I've got the game music for the game. I just haven't put it in yet. When I was working on the axe, it was annoying because it just kept breaking. I believe it. And you know what's funny is, even though I do have everything that I do have, I still am looking for ways to improve the game. So this goes back to what I was talking about with the limitations of the game engine, right? I don't know the first thing about Godot's visual capabilities, and that is what has put such a huge hindrance on my game progression so far. My game creation progression so far is I'm having to learn about proper volumetric fog and all this kind of stuff, you know. But I'm also trying to keep it within the realms of, hey, the gamer will find this interesting enough to want to play. You know what I mean? Because this will be my first official published game, and I'm getting there. You know, I'm getting there. But essentially, that's it. You know, that's the ending. That's the end of the game that I have so far, and I fully plan on keeping it going. What kind of models does the game engine use? GLHF, I think is what they're called. .glhf. Here, I'll tell you. Hold on. Assets. Not add-ons. Okay, assets. Yeah. So the Godot versions are, yeah, .glbs. Godot library. Now, it can convert Unreal and Unity assets over. I would just have to do some finagling with it. I've had to do that before. Oh yeah, oh absolutely. It can 100%. So when you render them in Blender, I believe that's when you choose for what engine. I think that's when you choose for what engine. So you could render them for Godot at that point. I'm like 99.99% sure. Yeah, I'm like 99.99% sure. I have no idea how to do the rendering or the texturing. Well, it sounds like that's one of your next steps to learn, buddy. Because I could sure use an artiste. And the cool part about it is, this is what I was talking about earlier, you know, you guys can't see it, but I'm looking through my assets folders, and I've got materials, I've got resource packs, I've got different scenes, you know, economy, environments, farming, items, nature, NPCs, the orchard itself, the player, the actual like systems for like the weather system, the skill system, the area unlock manager, the clock, the weather tracking system, the day-night cycle, the event bus, the resource inventory, the moon cycle, the lunar planning systems, soil managers, weather systems, wind. I mean, it's insane. It's actually kind of insane going back and looking at this to see how much I actually do. My user interface, I've got all these UIs. I just need a good working UI model that I can kind of proliferate throughout the entirety of the game. That's going to be one of my next things. I would love to update the UI. And that's kind of the best thing about game development, is once you have your vertical slice, you can pick and choose what it is that you want to work on next. You know what I mean? I've just realized I've been following you since like 8th grade, bro. I'm going to be 20. What? That's no kidding. That's cool. Oh, so you're basically like my son. My son. I love it. That's so cool. Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, I am sorry that it's just us in here today. I was hoping it would be a little bit more popular, but I don't know. It just kind of seems like my viewership has just been, and I don't know why. But that's okay. I have full faith. I don't have nothing going on today. Nice. I was going to play drums, but I woke up with a bit of a migraine today, and my neck has just been on fire all day. I usually just watch some YouTube. Well, that's kind of what I've been doing today. I've been really into Warhammer 40k, So I've been watching a lot of Warhammer 40k videos. I have no interest in playing the tabletop, and I have no interest in buying the figurines. Let me just put it that way. But as a story writer and all this kind of stuff, you know, I do find the game world to be absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I woke up last night at like 10 to 11, and I couldn't sleep until like 3. Honestly, it was the same for me. I think I laid down at like 1:30. No, it was even earlier than that, like 12:30, 1 o'clock. And it was maybe 4:30 before I finally fell asleep. So I completely understand. Completely understand. Yeah, I don't. Oh man, I don't blame you. Well, you know, when it gets cold, it's high pressure, and that high pressure causes a lot of like inflammation to happen and all this kind of stuff. And that's my biggest thing. That's why I remembered today that Excedrin is for like neck up pain, and then like ibuprofen is for neck down pain. So I went and picked me up some actual like ibuprofen, and I took one, but I'm probably going to be taking another one in a bit because it's just my neck, like I said, it just has just been on fire. So, but but Jess, would you mind changing the stream data to Megabonk? I like Warhammer 40k. My favorite factions are the Salamanders. Love the Salamanders. And for the Chaos factions, I love the World Eaters and the Word Bear. Oh yeah, those are so cool. I am a true Thousand Suns fan, but I will forever be an Imperialist. I love the God of War, the God of War. Oh my gosh, the Emperor of Mankind, and I love everything about his story, being a perpetual, all this kind of stuff. So I am actually an Imperialist, and I would only ever really want to play Imperial armies. But I have a huge soft spot for the Thousand Suns. To play them as the heroes they truly are. Because I don't think Magnus did anything wrong. Have you played the Warhammer 40k game that came out? Are you talking about the Space Marines and all that? No, I haven't gotten to play that yet. I've been living on a tight budget. And what's funny... Damn, excuse me. What's funny about that, though, is I kind of almost had to stop streaming because I've essentially tapped every bit of my savings, and that's the source of my stress. Is I'm so afraid that I'm gonna have to stop streaming for good, because I told myself I've been going steady 3 days a week for 3 months now, and I told myself, you know, at the first of the year, unless I kind of was at a certain threshold, January is the last month that I could afford to do this, and I am inching closer and closer to it, and it just terrifies me, because this is what I want to do, being a creative and all this kind of stuff, but I just, unless like a literal miracle happens, I can't afford to keep this going, and that scares me. That truly scares me, because I've put my heart and soul into this, you know, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to continue unless I start hitting these goals But that's the other problem is, you know, I just don't know what type of content I need to be doing in order to hit these goals. And that is the source of my stress today. Like, my mortgage came out yesterday and I was overdrawn by like $1,300. So I transferred $1,500 from my savings, and I was just looking at those numbers going, well, this is it. You know, this is it. This is the last of what I got. And unless a literal miracle happens, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I just know that I don't want to stop streaming, and I know that I have the most fun on stream, even when I'm not feeling good, coming on here and just kind of talking to everybody about stuff, you know? But I also hate putting my financial struggles out there because it feels like it's a bitch move, if you understand. Because man's supposed to be responsible for his bills, and I just don't know. I don't know. So, but, you know, regardless, I do have faith that things are going to work out. I don't know how, but I'm not supposed to know how. I just have to have faith they're going to work out. So, that's what I'm going to do. Is just be cool. Honestly. Just be cool and hope for the best. And prepare for the worst. That's all I can do. But that's kind of why I've been going so ham. Like, I like the 3-day-a-week schedule. It fits me the most, and it gives me proper healing time and all this kind of stuff in between stuff. But I don't know. I used to have like 15 to 25 people being streamed, and now I do well just to be able to keep one. Damage tone, nice. I probably should have gotten the scarf, but that's okay. Excuse me, goodness. Hiya. There we go. And I've also been saving up with the new dog fund, because I really want to get a new puppy. Alright, here we go. Side tone. Good job. Alright, so we need some damage like crazy. So if you guys have never seen this game, this is called Mega Bonk, and this is a sort of bullet hell style game. That's very cool. Survivor bullet hell style. And I love it. I think the guy who created this was an absolute madman and a genius. Benedad or Benedavid or whatever his name was. Damn, man, I'm sorry to hear about the finances. Yeah, that's exactly the predicament that I'm in right now. You know, you reach your hands out and it's just like, what are you gonna do? Damage plus 20% per 100 max health. Oh, wow. Alright, so it looks like we might need to get some heal. But like I said, I just try to stay in prayer and, you know, stay in a state of gratitude. Alright, so I need 102 gold. Oh, there it is. Haha, that's cool. Boom. And what's really funny is, ever since I quit smoking weed, I feel like I'm just like uber boring. That's another funny part. Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff anymore. But I do love the clear-headedness that comes from that, you know? It was a lot of fun getting to build that Santa cosplay for Christmas streams, though. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if you got to see that, Demon, but you can see on some of my past VODs that I built a Nordic-style Santa outfit, Santa cosplay. It was a lot of fun doing that, too. Oh, nice. The moldy cheese is a great one. Damage. Nice. Oh, bosses. Oh, shoot. No, 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 no. Also, what I like about this game is it's not so much that it's like ranked gameplay, but there's time limits. So I could just kind of like hop in, play a round or two real quick, and then get out and not get tired of the game, you know? I've always really liked that about this game. There we go. That was awesome. Ooh, damage. Yeah. No, stop hitting me. This game, the developer made it a lot more difficult, which is a good thing, which is definitely a good thing. Oops. I never drink, but I smoke on the occasion with friends and play games. Well, see, I don't know if I can, though. That's my problem. Hey, Reality7272 and Kick, how's it going, my friend? I just saw your message. My thing is I get bad, like, anxiety now for some reason. No idea why. Never experienced it before in my life. So I kind of stay away from mind-altering substances until I kind of know if I'm able to do these things or not. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. Like, I definitely know how to have fun. I have a great time. Oh, I did not mean to pick that up. Crap. That's okay. That was a waste. I think there's a thing, yeah, I think that there's a task to kill things with the Executioner. Okay, Demon. Oh, the little gift is new. I've never seen that before. Santa hat. Open the presents hidden in the forest. Oh, cool. Don't need gold. Yeah, that's awesome. Ah! These swarms are kind of cool. Oh no! Oh Jesus! Ah! Okay. Damage! There we go. That's what we needed. Oh Jesus! Yes. Oh! That was a good hit. Nice. Well, that wasn't too bad. Ooh, we'll do damage. Always, always, always go damage. Always damage. But, Reality7272 in Kick, I think I've seen your name before, haven't I? I think I have. You look very familiar. Your name looks very familiar. Oh, there's a gold one. Here we go. Nice. Ooh, yes, that's the one we need. Oh, nice. I like these ones. Damage. There goes. Nice. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, we need to start opening some chests. Borders. Oh, are you serious? I could really use a magnet right now to pick up all this experience, though. Nice. Do 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 do. Oh, can't afford. Okay, no problem. But yeah, the games that I'm playing during this stream are kind of up to you guys. I just kind of am picking something. Oh, there's a bomb. That's cool. Oh, there it goes. Shield. I'm gonna change the music real quick. Hold on 1 second. We'll do Elder Scrolls. This'll work. There we go. I like my Skyrim music, Elder Scrolls music. Ooh, elite spawn increase. Yeah. Ooh, yes. Extra damage to elites. Nice. Oh, got another swarm incoming. Nice. Nice. More damage. Nice. Always a good one. Oh. Ugh. Jeez. Oh, it's because I increased the difficulty. I forgot. That makes sense. Oh, don't get trapped. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I forgot that I've got lifesteal too. That's cool. So what's my current damage right now? Oh, 2.1% or 2.1 times. That's cool. Nice. More damage to elites. Oh, there's the boss. That's cool. Might as well go ahead and defeat him. Boom. These guys are wicked difficult. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Yes, always more damage. Woohoo! Ah, that hurt. Oh no. Oh no, that hurt a lot. I can't remember where there's heals at. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I think I'm about to die. And I got so many good items this round too, that's the bad part. But I do have lifesteal, so if I... That's alright. Damn it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you guys can see that I still have a lot of stuff that I need to unlock, you know. That's okay. Oh. But I get on and I play one of these games every so often, you know what I mean? Every so often. I thought about getting back into like Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, because I've never actually like beaten those games, and they would be a lot of fun to do too. Man, I wish this caffeine would help. But this caffeine is just not helping today. I could play some League if you guys wanted me to play some League. It's up to y'all. It is definitely up to y'all. But I do appreciate everybody who has joined, though, this stream. I really do. One of the games I thought about doing was Expedition 33. I haven't installed it yet, but a friend of mine was telling me, he's like, man, you've got to check this game out. It's very, very, very good. Very good, he says. So I'll definitely have to check it out one day. Another game I kind of wanted to get back into because I've never officially beaten it was Minecraft. But I hesitate doing things that are oversaturated. Just because it's like I don't really know of any way that I can stand out from everybody else. That's kind of the one bad thing that I have. You know, I thought I could do that with the drums, but it just kind of turns out that you can't force it, which is definitely not something I've ever been trying to do. So I don't know. I have a good feeling that things are gonna work out. You know what I mean? I do. My ADHD is kicking my ass today. It is kicking my ass. Sorry, kind of zoning out. Oh man. Come on, Nick, wake up. Wake up, wake up. It was kind of cool getting to show you guys the games, though. I do like that. There is a very fun little game that I've been really into. I've played like 8 hours over the last week or so, called Ayana, and it's kind of a an upgrade to Minecraft. It's like Minecraft with RPG elements to it. That's really, really, really good. I highly recommend this game, Ayana. I've been playing a lot of Raft lately. I just got into My Time in Portia. That's a fun game. I've almost beaten Palworld, actually, now that I think about it. I've almost beaten Palworld. Very fun game. I was playing a lot of Dynasty Warriors Origins, a lot of Minion Masters. You know, I love my ranked games. They're so much fun. I should probably get back into Minion Masters. It was a very fun game. Fallout 4. I kind of thought about going through another playthrough of Skyrim because it's so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. Hmm. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm being very entertaining tonight, and I apologize to everyone. uh, I could always play some more Elden Ring. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try again streaming tomorrow night, because I did have a rough night of sleep myself, and this weather is making me feel like incredibly tired, and I don't like it. But I'm very glad that I still was able to do an hour and 40 minutes with you guys. So I think that I'm gonna end the stream here for tonight and do a special stream tomorrow, as a sort of makeup. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow, because I think the weather is actually supposed to be a lot better. No, it's supposed to rain 100% tomorrow. Damn, it's supposed to be cloudy all week. It's all right. It is all right. It is all right. But all right, everyone, thank you so much for joining. I will see you all most likely tomorrow and